Namaste and hello. Welcome to The Light Within. I'm so glad you are here today because we are diving into a topic that's not only close to my heart but has the potential to completely shift how you approach your life. We are talking about connecting with your higher self, that deeper, wiser part of you, and how it holds the key to gaining clarity in this cluttered, noisy world. I know. The term like higher self can sound like a woo woo or overly spiritual at first. But trust me, this isn't about abandoning logic or running off into the Himalayas to meditate for years. This is about finding balance, learning to trust yourself completely, and discovering the kind of clarity that comes from within without seeking any validation from outside. So let's explore this together in a way that feels approachable, relatable, and practical. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is the higher self? Think of your higher self as the most authentic, unfiltered, and pure version of you. It's not tied to your job, your roles, or even the identity you have built over the years. It's a part of you that exists beyond your body, your mind, and ego. It's a part of you that is there, available, and accessible to you, but most likely you have not had the experience to access it so far. In Hindu philosophy, this concept is closely tied to the Atma, the eternal soul. The Atma is the real you, untouched by the drama of daily life. It's deeply connected to the universe or Brahman as we call it, which is like the infinite source of wisdom and energy. Here's how I would like to think of it. The higher self is like a compass. When life feels messy, confusing, or overwhelming, it's the quiet guide that helps you find your way. But just like a compass, it only works if you hold it still. So then the question is that why does this concept remain a delusion for many of us? Why don't people talk about it? Or if higher self is always there, why don't we hear it more often? Well, the answer to the first question is that most of us have not experienced how it's like to connect with our higher self because it is an experience. It is hard to put in words. It defies the domain of logic and intellect. Answer to the second question, why don't we hear it more often, is because of clutter. Our daily lives are packed with so much of noise, mental, emotional, even physical. Think about it. The constant scrolling on social media, the comparisons we make with others, the pressure to meet goals, deadlines, and expectations, and the endless shoulds and musts that make us feel we are never doing enough. All of this creates mental clutter, and when your mind is full of chatter, it's almost impossible to hear the subtle whispers of your higher self. Now that you have understood what higher self means, let's talk about how to get in touch with your higher self. The first step in that direction is decluttering, both internally and externally. So let go of the stories you're telling yourself. We all carry stories about who we are, don't we? Stories like, I'm not good enough, I need to accomplish XYZ to be happy, I can't live without this person or that job, etc. etc. Empty yourself completely. Imagine dropping everything that you're carrying, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. Drop the goals you have planned so meticulously. Let go of all the disappointments you've been holding on to. Release the grudges and resentments from your past. It may sound scary at first, but this process of emptying yourself is incredibly freeing. When you clear out the clutter, you create a sacred space for your higher self to emerge. Remember what I said earlier? It's always there. It's just that you're not able to listen to it. Why you're not able to listen to it? Because of the things that you're carrying inside of your mind. And once you drop those things is when you create space for your higher self to emerge. These stories create a kind of mental noise that drown out your inner guidance. The truth is, you are already enough. You don't need to earn your worth. It's intrinsic. And let's be honest, it is not easy to let go of these beliefs and stories. They keep us safe, they keep us comfortable, and we are scared of change. We will rather stay comfortable than stepping in a zone which is unknown. Isn't it true? It's like a chicken and egg story. You won't be able to listen to your higher self till you drop the story. But unless you experience your higher self, you would not like to leave the comfort of your story and false beliefs. Practically speaking, the more you remind yourself about these stories and how untrue they are, the more you come closer to listening to your higher self. The next way to access your higher self is by dropping attachments. In Hinduism, there is a concept called Vairagya, which means detachment. This doesn't mean you stop caring about people or things. It means that you stop letting them define you. I think relationships are a classic example or classic case to explain detachment and the role of higher self as well. Sometimes we hold on to relationships so tightly that we overlook how they are affecting us. Imagine being in a relationship where you deeply care for someone, but they constantly drain your energy or dismiss your feelings. You stay, not because it's healthy or joyful, but because you're afraid of losing them or being alone. There are so many cases like this. These stories are very common. This is where your higher self plays a crucial role. When you connect with your higher self, it helps you see beyond the fear and attachment. It whispers, "You're whole, even without this relationship defining you." Detachment or vairagya doesn't mean you stop loving the person. It means you trust your higher self to guide you towards what's truly aligned with your well being. Ask yourself, is this connection helping me grow, or am I clinging out of fear? When you listen to your higher self, you gain clarity and courage to release what no longer serves you, creating space for relationships that nurture your soul and align with your highest purpose. When you let go of these attachments, you create space for your higher self to step in and guide you. Now that we have understood the two important ways to get in touch with your higher self, let's also understand what it feels like to actually connect with your higher self. When you are in touch with this part of you, something magical happens, and that magic is called clarity. Clarity does not mean you suddenly have all the answers. No, it means you know the next step to take. How many times have you validated your decisions with other people? How many times have you asked others if I'm doing the right thing or not? When you have the clarity, when you are in touch with your higher self, you do not need these external validation. It's like you're driving through a thick fog. You can't see the entire road ahead, but your headlights show you just enough to keep moving forward. That's the kind of clarity that the higher self gives you. We've spoken about how to connect with your higher self. Now let's understand how to build this connection. The first one on my list is to create stillness. The higher self does not shout, it whispers. To hear it, you need moments of stillness in your life. Early mornings are the best time for this. Brahma Muhurat, as we call it in Hindi, which is the hour before sunrise, is the perfect time for it. It is believed that the veil between the spiritual and the material worlds is the thinnest during this time, making it easier for us to connect with our higher self. Even if you're not a morning person, I highly recommend that you try it out for a few days. The second one on my list is meditate and reflect. Now, you may not be into meditation, and I'm not saying that you should need to sit cross-legged for hours to meditate. I'm only saying that although I highly recommend it, start with just 5-10 minutes of silence each day. Close your eyes, focus on your breath, and simply be. Continue this practice for a few days, and you will understand the difference it makes to your overall well being. Slowly and gradually, you will be able to hear the guidance from within. You will not have to check with people, you will hear the voice guiding you. Next one is trust the process. Connecting with your higher self takes time and consistency. The more you practice, the stronger the connection becomes. You will have once in a while that voice guiding you, and over a period of time, you will start to notice that guidance comes to you naturally, even in the middle of a busy day. And that's something which comes from practice. It does not come from a day's practice, and hence, you need to be consistent with your practice. The fact with most spiritual practices is that the result is not immediate, and hence a lot of people lose interest. They give up because this world is a fast moving world. We want our desires to be satisfied the next moment, right? Spiritual practices take time, but the results that you get out of it or the experiences that you gain out of it cannot be measured in words. Here's also something important. When you start to experience the wisdom and guidance of your higher self, keep it sacred. Do not rush to share your experiences with everyone. I've seen this with so many people. The moment they realize that they have access to something larger than them, they rush to share those experiences. I have fallen into that trap multiple times, but then I realized that it's best if I keep it safe in my heart. Not because I do not want to share it. I definitely want to share it. But I've also realized it that when I do it, a slight sense of ego comes in between. It's like I'm special and hence I'm having these experiences. It's my personal opinion, but it's best that you keep this connection sacred to yourself. This connection is personal and powerful. Nurture it quietly. Let your energy spill onto others through your actions and not your words. Let me leave you with this. Your life is a precious gift. The fact that you're here listening to this means something. In Hinduism, it's said that human birth is incredibly rare. It's an opportunity to grow, to learn, and connect with the divine. But most of us spend our lives distracted by the noise of the world, never realizing the potential within us. Just because the world is drowning us with distraction doesn't mean that we need to make that choice each day, every day. Even if 9 out of 10 people do not believe in spirituality or spiritual practices, you have to carve your own path. You have to realize what's working for you. You don't need to share with people. Experience it, experiment with it, and then decide what's working for you and what's not. When you connect with your higher self, you're aligning with that potential. You're stepping into your true power, the kind that doesn't come from achievements but from within. So start small. Take a few minutes tomorrow morning to sit in silence. Let go of the mental clutter, even for just a moment, and invite your higher self to guide you. This is all that I have in this episode. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this episode has resonated with you, I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you know someone who could benefit from this message, feel free to share it with them. Until next time, may your soul be illuminated with the light within. I will see you in the next episode of The Light Within.